Executive Officer of Norfolk Southern, Alan Shaw. He joins me for a second time talking about what is going on with the latest on the remediation, the environmental cleanups, and some of the litigation issues that are out there as Norfolk Southern had the train derailment in East Palestine. Alan, thanks so much for coming on KDKA. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rick. It's good to join you, and recognizing the reach that your show has and your station has, it gives me a great opportunity to reach the 2,600 NS employees who proudly call Pennsylvania home.
No question. This is a very large area for your employee base. I believe it's one of the top 3 anywhere in the country. But more than that, it also is a place where your company has been seen working through some of these environmental issues. I saw your earnings report coming out saying the number is now in excess of $800 million spent as far as the cleanup and associated costs with it. Is $803 million, is that the most accurate number, most up to date?
Yeah, that's the visibility that we have. That's what's estimable and probable. And we'll continue working with the EPA and the Pennsylvania DEP and the Ohio EPA. And, there could be fines, there could be third-party recoveries, either from insurance or other third parties.
And obviously some of that money may come from your insurance providers as well. It doesn't necessarily all come from your bottom line, but that's just the number that has generally been agreed upon at this point as to what the cost is, correct?
Yeah, that's our current estimate.
Got it. Okay. So give us a sense as to, since you were last here, which was about 2 months ago, what has transpired, what has been done in East Palestine?
Well, we continue with the environmental remediation. When I joined you in May, I told you that we're really focused on making it right and investing in the long term, and that meant the environmental remediation, that meant the economic recovery and assistance to families, and that also meant investing in the community of East Palestine and Western Pennsylvania to help it thrive over the long term. We've moved about 80,000 tons of soil off-site so far. We've moved about 26 million gallons of water off-site, and we've committed over $64 million to the community in the surrounding areas to help the community recover, help the community thrive. And there's more work to be done. You can count on that. We're going to be there for the long haul, and I'm going to see this thing through.
Give us a sense as to how do you make those decisions to prioritize things? Meaning, if soil is the next thing as opposed to water, as opposed to dealing with the economic, how do you make those decisions as to where you want to put your resources, Alan?
That's a great question, yes. So as I focus on the environmental remediation, we said we're going to do more than less. So we're working with federal, state, and local authorities on that. And then with respect to community assistance, I've been really clear from the very beginning is that we're going to apply Norfolk Southern's resources, and the community is going to direct where it goes. And so, I was there in the immediate aftermath. I've been back almost every week since. And I generally sit down and we'll, visit churches, I'll visit schools, I'll visit businesses, and I'll visit homes. And I'll have listening sessions, and I'll listen to the community leaders and the families, and they'll tell us where they need the investment from Norfolk Southern to help the community recover and help the community thrive.
Have you sensed a change in the tone among the residents? Has it changed from where it was in February, and even since you were with me last time in May? Has it been discernibly different?
What you've seen is in the immediate aftermath, there were some really difficult and really emotional conversations, and they were emotional for me as well. And I had a sense of accountability and a sense of responsibility to do the right thing. And, I made promises, and I've put all the resources of Norfolk Southern to ensure that we're going to keep our promises, and we're going to see this thing through. And so what you see now is I think there is a recognition that progress is being made, although more work needs to be done. And each and every day, Norfolk Southern is going to do the next right thing.
Alan Shaw joining us, the Chief Executive Officer of Norfolk Southern, talking about the cleanup that is ongoing in East Palestine, Ohio, after the derailment earlier this year. Alan, how much of an impact is this having on long-term profitability? And is that taking any sort of a toll in terms of your ability to continue to work on rail safety, to continue to make sure that your employees are well compensated, to continue to deal with negotiations with labor unions, et cetera, moving forward? How are those two linked?
Norfolk Southern is a strong company with a noble purpose and a bright future. And if anything, our response in East Palestine and the progress we've made kind of reaffirms my vision for the future of Norfolk Southern of safely delivering exceptional service and balancing productivity and really driving growth, because we understand the economic growth engine that the railroad is to the communities we serve. And so we've got a vision that is focused on taking into account the long-term best interests of our customers, our employees, and the communities that we serve. One of the things that you've seen from me, Rick, is I've been on the Hill advocating for many of the provisions of the various railway safety bills that are moving through the House and through the Senate. And we just recently hired a former admiral who was in charge of the Navy nuclear propulsion system. And I hired him as a direct independent consultant to me and asked him to put together a team to help us enhance our safety culture. And so he put together a team which includes several former admirals and 7 or 8 other people, all with Navy nuke experience. And they're going to be with us for a number of years, helping us enhance our safety culture. We're a safe railroad, and we can be safer. And I know that the Navy nuke program is the gold standard of safety in all of industry. Norfolk Southern will be the gold standard of safety in the rail industry.
Alan, I realize this is probably going to be a very difficult question to answer, but how much have you learned about your company, your people, the people of Ohio, et cetera, since what happened in February?
What you see is adversity tests character, or reveals character, and it tests your resolve. And I'm really proud of the way that Norfolk Southern has responded. I've really enjoyed my time visiting the folks in Ohio and Western Pennsylvania, and I've gotten close to a number of them, and it really kind of reinforces to me that we're going to develop a solution here that makes the folks at Norfolk Southern and the folks in East Palestine and Western PA proud of our response 5 years from now and 10 years from now.
Is there a timeline at this point? I mean, is there any way of knowing that, or does it go back to what you're saying, we're going to do this and we're going to make it right, and regardless of how long that takes? I'm just trying to get a sense for people, because they wonder those things.
Yeah, we're going to be there as long as it takes, Rick, and I'm going to see this through. And we've got 13 Norfolk Southern employees who live in East Palestine, right? We're part of the fabric of that community. We certainly have a number of employees who live in Western PA. As you noted, Pennsylvania is our second largest state of employment. We understand our role. We understand our responsibility, and we're going to be here for the long haul.
Alan, I've always had great respect for you because of the fact that you are willing to face every single question head on and answer it with candor, and I have no reason to think that that's ever going to change. So thank you so much, and continue to make sure that you and I are in contact, and make sure that as things are happening, we will let people know through KDKA.
That's my commitment to you, Rick, and I'll look forward to talking to you again.
Always great stuff from Alan Shaw, CEO Norfolk Southern, joining us here on KDKA. Let's check on traffic now.